Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. So today, we're going to address the fact that Cesar Pina went to jail and then got out on bail. Yes, he did. Right now, he can't leave the state of New Jersey. There are more lawsuits pending against him, and he does have an ankle bracelet. His wife, she did apply for bankruptcy twice, and she was denied twice. Okay, so let's look into some of the charges. I'm going to go over briefly. From what I understand, he tried to sell the same property to 6 different people at the same time. The other thing that he was accused of for other people, he sold them property that was not his. And then lastly, for some people, he got the property, he started making payments, and then he stopped. And then for other people, he never made any payments at all. Okay. So, and then on top of that, DJ Envy now has come out even more in full force. It was revealed on Tony the Closer's show, but now it's in court. DJ Envy says that he got ripped off by Cesar too. Some people don't believe that, but I actually, through my own resources, I saw that there is a lien on DJ Envy for the same amount that he is accusing Cesar for stealing from him. So that actually might be true. All right. Now, on the flip side, Cesar, and this is where things get confusing to me, Cesar is suing another company that he says he got a loan from. And this loan was for real estate. Here's my thing. Why is it that he is getting money from this, I guess it's a small bank or savings and loan institution, to do real estate when he's gotten all this other money from all these other investors who saw Flipping and Jay and, signed the paperwork to be a part of that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because when I looked in that particular town, the towns that he was actually doing the flips in, I looked at the cost of homes there, and the properties really don't cost that much to purchase. And I know just from looking, yes, only at the outside of it, I don't know what's inside. I don't believe it costs that much to rehab anyway. And if it does cost that much to rehab, then that's not a profitable situation. So again, I'm a bit confused about that. The other thing is this. When I look at the numbers, when I look at the location, I see that, if they did things legitimately, they would have made a lot of money. I'm going by the fact that I'm siding with the courts who found him guilty, because I think that what he did was wrong. But it's like, I know people who invest in New Jersey. I live in New York City. Okay. And I can't say that I know every single place in New Jersey, or, like the back of my hand kind of thing, but I know enough. Let me give you an example. There was one lady, I actually did a video on our conversation, because what she did is she believes that 401ks is a scam. She took out $250,000 from her 401k, bought a property in New Jersey, flipped it, and sold it for $950,000. So she, and I was against it. And even when she made that money, I was like, yo, put some of that money back so that you don't deal with the penalties. But she says to me, you know what, that money that she made was so much, it was enough to cover the penalties and for her to still get a profit anyway. So she's going to keep on doing it, and she's not even going to mess with retirement funds anymore. I can't say that I agree with that, guys, but that's what she did. This is a person that I know. And this is a person, like I said, I made that video on a number of years ago. Then I know another dude who he basically buys tax liens and mortgage notes like I do, right? But he takes it further. He normally buys, like when it comes to mortgage notes, he buys the non-performing ones. I buy the performing ones. So that's the difference between me and him. But after he gets the property, he fixes it and flips it himself. He doesn't like sell it to somebody else. So this last property that he bought, it was in Jersey, another part of Jersey, but not too far from the location of where Flipping and Jay was doing it. It was a one family. He bought it. He probably paid like $200,000 for that particular tax lien, but he sold it for $1.6 million. So this is what I'm saying is like, this is what's confusing me, is that if they did things the right way, they would have made money. There was no need to scam anybody, is what I'm trying to say. Like, that's what's confusing me. All right. But anyway, I'm going to move on. The next thing is this. With the last video, I was under the impression that DJ Envy was just an influencer in this whole situation. But upon revisiting some of the videos that were played, particularly Real Deal and a few other YouTubers, I saw where DJ Envy, I heard where he said, partner with us, invest with us. So if you are in a partnership with someone, whether you know what they're doing or not, the courts still hold you responsible. I know this for a fact because recently I was in a situation where I didn't partner with this company, but I did hire this company to do certain things for me, and they did things improperly. And because they did things improperly, I paid the price for that because I'm the boss. I'm in charge. Even though they didn't listen to what my attorney told them to do, I still had to pay the price for what they did. So DJ Envy, even if he claims that, I wasn't aware of what Cesar was doing, as long as you guys are in the same company, whether you're aware of what he does or he doesn't do, you're still going to be held responsible in a court of law. I know this for a fact. I know this for a fact because I just came out of court for a similar, well, not a similar situation, but for a real estate issue. Okay. So, but I can't talk too much about it, but my case is pretty much done. We went into a settlement and my attorney told me I can get more into it next year, but I just can't talk about it too much this year, but I'll just say that I can say that much about it. Anyway, the next thing, and well, actually, no, let me go back. The thing is, I can talk now because it's over, a little bit because it's over. What I don't understand is why DJ Envy and Cesar, since they are still under investigation, they're still going to court, etc., etc., they shouldn't be talking as much as they should at all. Like, they are really pressing it. Because if my lawyer said to me, and she did, Lily, I don't want you to talk about it. You can do it a little bit, but as far as like giving the full detail online, don't do that until next year. Like, I'm listening to her. They need to listen to their attorneys because what they say can be used against them. Some of these lawyers are they're really clever. and they can pull out pieces of information from what you say and have a jury, or, whether it's by jury or not, they can really convince a judge and persuade a judge to think one way or another. So that's why we got to be careful when we talk about whatever cases that we're involved in. Okay. The other thing too with DJ Envy is that they did own a company together. Him and Cesar owned a company together. So again, DJ Envy, he cannot say, even if he wasn't aware, he can't say that he's not responsible. The court is going to find him responsible. I know, because I already went through it, like I said. Now, as far as the things that were done outside of the company that he set up with Cesar, things are a little bit different. Okay. However, even though he was not a partner in those other companies, he is an influencer when it comes to those people investing with Cesar. Okay. However, here's the thing. Once DJ Envy was told that Cesar was cheating people, he should have stopped promoting and he should have started to investigate. And I know for a fact, and yeah, I might get in trouble for saying it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I know for a fact that DJ Envy was told, because I followed him on Instagram and I saw where he dismissed a lot of people as haters. I tried to go back to the Instagram page to pull it up, and I noticed that I didn't see it anymore. So I thought, you know what? I was like, wow, I must really, really, really be Lulu, because I don't see this stuff anymore. But then I was watching Common Sense, whatever happened to Common Sense, and he was saying that, oh no, he deleted, a lot of things were deleted from that Instagram page. So I was like, oh, okay. Thank God. Because I was like, oh my God, because I know I saw in the comments section back in, like, before the pandemic, I was seeing negative things written. And when one or two people say something negative, yeah, you might say that's a hater or so. But when you have a whole flock of people saying something, then it's time to stop, drop, and roll. You understand me? So that right there, yeah, I can't get with DJ Envy on that. All right. And then the other conflict is this whole office situation, right? They said that they shared an office, and Cesar came out and said, well, DJ Envy was not in the office with me. However, there were two investors that said that they stormed into the office and DJ Envy was there. So my thing is, again, how is it that you didn't know what was going on? They said that they saw you in the room. Okay, fine, you didn't know what they was talking about. But if they stormed in, that means that they probably was yelling. That means that they didn't just walk in. If somebody comes into my office and somebody starts yelling, people are gonna, in the other offices, people in the same office, whatever, they're gonna come in and they're gonna be like, okay, well, what the hell is going on? They're gonna try and calm the situation. They're gonna try and find out, what happened. Yes, there's some people that's not gonna get involved, but they will come in afterwards and say, hey, are you all right? Are you okay? You know what I'm saying? So, that right there also doesn't sit well with me. But like I said, there's a conflict because Cesar is now saying, no, DJ Envy was not in there. But the investors are saying, yes, he was. You see? So that's the other piece that's confusing. All right. Now I want to move on to something else, because I want to talk to the actual investors and also other investors who are interested in real estate, who see this situation play out before them, and they might, you guys are probably a little bit scared, right? Because why? The Breakfast Club show, that's been around in existence since 2010. DJ Envy has, is someone that's been a staple of that show. You hear somebody like him over and over again every single day. He probably becomes like a friend in your head, a family member, something to that esteem. All right. Well, I sympathize with you. I empathize with you. I understand where you're coming from, basically. But as somebody who's been through this already, this is my advice for doing due diligence, okay? Because what I've learned is that a lot of celebrities, they're good at entertaining, but they're not necessarily good when it comes to business. Only a few of them really are. And I know DJ Envy said, okay, I made money and all this, that, and the third. But even though he did, guys, you still have to, I know some of you may have done this, and some of you may need to check your lawyers, but you guys, you have to read that paperwork, and you have to get a lawyer to read that paperwork that will sit there and explain to you what is being said. Okay? They need to break it down for you. They can't just read it and whatever. They need to read it and say, okay, and ask you questions. And if you don't know the answer to those questions, you need to turn around and you need to ask, whoever it is, whoever the sponsor is, whoever the main investor is, you need to ask them those questions. And if they talk to you, because a lot of times too, we may feel a little bit intimidated because we may not understand all of the legal lingo. And we may not, especially when you're a new real estate person, you're afraid to come across as being stupid. Listen, you got to let pride go away from you. You got to be like, no, I don't understand this. Break it down to me. Make it simple. Yes, I am a rookie. You got to own that. And a lot of times, sometimes, I know it happens with me and I know it happens with other people, is that we're afraid to admit what we don't know. And we got to stop that. Look, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Break it down to me. And if they still, after breaking it down to you, you still don't understand, have them repeat it. Tell them you still don't understand. And if you still don't understand, walk away from the deal. There'll be another deal. There's always another deal. Don't let these people try to convince you like this is the deal of the century. And if you don't do this, all hope is lost for you. No, I'm telling you, it's a lie. There's always another deal. Okay? So that's one thing. Number two, well, actually, that was about 2 or 3 things. The next thing is one person said that they signed the paper because their friend signed the paper. You don't do that. Just because your friend signs the paper, I don't care how long that person has been your friend. I don't care if they're nice to you. No, you have to read the paper for yourself. Does it fit you? Because it's your money. It's not your friend's money. It's your life. It's not your friend's life. So that was a no-no right there for that particular investor that said that. The other things that came across was with Cesar himself. Cesar said that he learned real estate from an inmate in jail. Cesar was in jail at that time for credit card fraud. So in my mind, maybe I'm wrong, but in my mind, if Cesar was in jail for credit card fraud, then that inmate probably was in jail for real estate fraud, the one that taught him real estate. Okay, so that's another red flag for me. And that should be another red flag for you. If a person was in jail and they said, well, you know what, I learned it from the library that was in jail, or, after I left jail, I took a course, or I read a book, a couple of books or whatever, and I did, bought my own properties and what have you, then I would have been all right with that. I would have been all right with that. But from another inmate, no. Because a lot of times inmates, when they sharing information, they're sharing information on how to get over the system, not necessarily how to come up out of the whole criminal area, if for lack of a better word. Okay, so that was a red flag for me. The other red flag was that his brother is a property manager. Now, see, I thought this was flipping NJ. I don't understand necessarily why a property manager was needed for flipping properties. That's normally not how things are done. If you're going to take a property, rehab it, but you're going to hold on to the property, I can understand why you need a property manager. The other thing too that was said was that the brother in his little commercial said that they owned 500 units and they had collected $10,000 in late fees. Or was it $11,000? Can't remember, but the math doesn't, I'm not sure if that really adds up. And then on top of that, he had nothing but cash all over the place. Normally, I've been a landlord for 23 years. I've only been paid by check or electronically. I've never been paid by cash. Most landlords don't take cash either. Most landlords take check. So that was definitely a red flag. And I saw that on, again, whatever happened to common sense. All right. So yeah, that was kind of strange. Somebody may need to explain that part to me, because that is also a bit confusing. The next thing that you guys have to do, you gotta do this. I probably should have made this number one. All right. One of the addresses did not match up to the description of the property. Okay. It said apartment building, but when you put it in Google, Zillow, etc., you get an auto repair shop. Yeah, an auto repair shop. No. If this happens, you definitely need to contact the person that you're doing business with, and they need to explain. After they explain, you need to verify this for yourself. Meaning, if you are in New York, now this particular property was in Jersey, but if you are a New Yorker that was investing in that apartment building, supposedly, the bus is $2 and change, depending on when you go. And then there's the train, which is $7 from 34th Street. You pay that money, you go there and you look at that property yourself. If you don't have time to look at that property yourself to verify it, then you can pay somebody. There are several services that you can pay to photograph the property for you. You can call a local realtor. They can give you a BPO. Yes, many of them will charge you money for that, but at least you'll get the picture. At least you'll also get an estimate of what they can sell that property for. You can also hire property managers to go take pictures of the property for you. And they might be able, not all of them can, but they might be able to even give you an estimate of what the repairs should even be. Spend that little bit of money before you go sending anybody $1 million for sure. All right. And I know, yes, we've heard about people buying property sight unseen, but I'm telling you, if you are a newbie, you should not buy sight unseen. And a lot of those people who say, oh, they buy sight unseen, they actually pay a service to go out there and look at the property for them. Okay, it's not really like, oh, I'm just going to buy the property like that. No, don't get it twisted. I know they say it, but it's a play on words. Let me leave it at that. All right, the next thing, or the other thing that you can do, is a lot of county clerks are online. You could go to the county clerk office. New Jersey ones are normally free. And if you do have to pay, it's normally a little bit of money. It's normally not even a lot. What? $10 maximum. Okay? Before you send anybody $1 million, $250, $500, $650, $1,000, do these things, please. Okay? Go online to the county clerk's office. It'll give you the description and it'll give you the title. Guess what? If you don't feel like doing it, you can get somebody from Fiverr to do it for you, because I had a lady from Fiverr looking up properties for me. She charged me $2.50. She was from India. Okay. So I was like, wait a minute. Since you're that cheap and you're doing it, how is it you're doing it? So I found out how to do it myself. So I eliminate her altogether. But if I'm lazy, if I don't feel like nothing, yeah, I pay her $2.50 to do it from Fiverr. All right. And she's not the only one. You can hire any of them on Fiverr to do that stuff for you. To do the due diligence, to do that investigation. All right. The next thing is this, and this is why I have a problem with one of you who said that you actually used a lawyer, because your lawyer should have said something. The notes were unsecured. And because the notes were unsecured, you can't foreclose on the property and take that property back from Cesar. I'm a private lender and I'm a mortgage note investor. All of my notes got to be secured. I don't play that. All of my notes got to be secured so that if anything happens, at least I can take that house. See, some of these people who run scams, a lot of them are horrible with money. They don't always hold on to it. And I bet you Cesar spent most of the money. I bet you he spent most of the money. Why do I say that? He got a private jet. Why does Cesar have a private jet? Somebody explain that to me. He's not a politician. And in my eyes, he's not a celebrity like that. He's not even on DJ Envy's level. For real. So it's like, that for me is a red flag. Private jets, the fuel to pay for that is so expensive. It's not cheap at all. It's not cheap. And he's living, from my understanding, a very lavish lifestyle. Most people who scam other people do. I hate to break the news to you. They do. They don't hold on to money. They keep enough money to keep them out of jail and for lawsuits. But they done spent most of the money on whatever frivolous thing that they got going on. So, yeah, I feel sorry for you guys, but I wanted to point these things out because I know that there are other people who, wanted to invest and they're probably scared. And I'm just letting you know, if you guys just follow the due diligence that I shared with you, it may help. It will definitely help you out later on. Sometimes you got to spend that little bit of money before you give so much of your money. And you got to watch your emotions too, because not all, some of the investors sounded a little bit desperate to me. Some were in distress. You got to heal first before investing. Will you be completely healed? Maybe not. But if you just went through something, don't turn around and invest in real estate. Don't turn around and invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, T-bills, all of that. Don't invest in nothing. Heal first. Because a lot of times when you move and you're in that headspace, your thinking cap is affected. And unfortunately, it can be, you'll misconstrue things, or people will misconstrue you, which is what happened here. And listen, guys, don't think that don't think that he's the only one. There's many Cesar Pinas out here. All right. They come in all colors, all shapes and sizes, different backgrounds. Don't get it twisted. You got to do your due diligence. And I just hope that the tips that I shared with you help you in the future. All right. So now the other thing, just to add to it, that I'm really waiting to see, because I don't really know how this is going to play out, is iHeartRadio. They are up there. Again, I'm hearing conflicting reports as far as, did the computers get seized or didn't they get seized? I'm not hearing the same story right there, so I'm going to leave that alone. But yeah, I'm going to see how that plays out, because truth be told, a lot of platforms, a lot of newspapers, just the media in general, a lot of times they don't do a full background check before they start promoting people. They will just, put people out there that pay them a certain amount of money. Sometimes the person doesn't even pay them any money. They just write whatever article or put whatever's out there just so that they can make money. Right? So I'm going to see how this is going to be. All right. So guys, anyway, that's all I have for you. Hopefully the information that I shared will help you make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this amongst your friends. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.